People have been saying for the past few months, the Republicans are abandoning Trump. Trump has no base anymore. And that Trump will lose the election. He appeals to nobody. This is blatantly false. This video is going to do a deep dive on traditional Republican counties and how early voting's looking in these counties. Now again, you could say, Trump may do a little bit worse with his white working class base. I could see him doing probably a point worse with them. Maybe two. But when you look at the early voting, it's getting offset by traditional Republican counties. And today, this video is going to do a deep dive into several of the more traditional Republican counties. Let's get right into it. So we're going to start in the great state of Texas. Because Texas is one state where people are saying that Trump's going to lose. Trump's going to lose that. Everything's going to go bad for Trump. You see from change of 2012. Trump did fairly better in the more rural part of the state. Not a surprise. But what he did awful in was the more urban/suburban parts of places like Houston, Dallas, Austin, San Antonio. And that's not a surprise. Trump did not really do good at all with suburbanites or traditional Republicans, traditional Republican counties. For example, Fort Bend flipped from Romney victory in 2016 or 2012 to a Clinton victory in 2016. Same thing up here, all right? Tarrant County, while Trump still won it, he didn't win by as much as Romney did. And really, when you look at the map, this should terrify Republicans, you would say. Well, let's take a look at the early voting in Texas. Look at Tarrant County. These numbers are absolutely pathetic for Democrats in Texas. Tarrant County, which is right now the biggest bellwether in Texas. It's basically spot on with the state of Texas. Republicans are ahead by 16 percentage points in Tarrant. And you could say, oh, well, you see here, that's down from around a 20-point lead. Yes, but Democrats are supposed to be absolutely obliterating Republicans, or nearly tied in counties like this with early voting, but they're not. Democrats are not showing up. And when you look at it, right, Tarrant County, about 157,000 votes were around Democrat. Clinton got around 288,000. That is not good. Remember, only around, I believe it was around 28% or 30% said they were going to vote on election day for Democrats. That's absolutely abysmal. And for Republicans, you got 227,000 votes for Republicans. In Tarrant County, Trump got 345,000. Think about that. Trump's going to do better in Tarrant County, it looks like. And with the election day surge, we're expecting around 68% of Republicans, I believe, said nationally that they were going to vote on election day. This is massive. Republicans are making a comeback in places like Tarrant County, all right? But this isn't the biggest one, right? This is a good example that Republicans are unifying behind Trump. Because Republicans should not be voting early like this. They shouldn't, but they are. And again, you could say, oh, well, maybe 10 percentage points of them are for Biden. Even then, it's still not enough to overcome this. On election day, you're looking at a near Romney-level victory in Tarrant County, mathematically speaking. Democrats are not turning out for Biden whatsoever. Another good example in Texas is the Houston area. Harris County, Fort Bend, etc. Harris County is Houston, right? How is that looking for Republicans? Or Democrats, I should say. Democrats should be blowing out the water with Republicans. Look at this. Only a 0.4% increase from 2016. And Republicans only down 2 percentage points since 2016. That's not good for Democrats again. Remember, Houston, there was around 707,000 people that voted for Clinton. Democrats are only 463,000. That's still way underneath what they're supposed to be. Republicans are doing fairly good. At this point, Trump's going to improve in Harris County by a couple percentage points, mathematically speaking. You keep looking at these data points, all right? Let's look at Fort Bend, one of the counties that did flip for Clinton. This is a suburban county of Houston, Fort Bend. I can find it. Look at this. Republicans still have a lead by a percentage point. What's going on with Democrats? They should, in this county, they should be absolutely wiping out Republicans, but they're not. These are pathetic numbers. Trump's going to improve Fort Bend by a couple percentage points. He's going to win Fort Bend at this point. You keep looking at this. Texas is safe Republican. Don't give me this nonsense, right? So we've seen Texas. What about Georgia? Good old Georgia. Trump improved literally everywhere except, well, traditionally Republican counties like Cobb County, Gwinnett County, etc. Right? Let's just go check Georgia. You're seeing this across the board. You're noticing a pattern, right? With these traditional Republican counties, right? Let's look at Cobb County. Let's look. Democrats did worse than they did in 2016 for early voting. Republicans did a little bit worse, but Republicans still have a sizable lead. About the same lead, actually, as they did against Democrats. Right? And again, Cobb County is a suburban county of Georgia for Atlanta. 91,000 Republicans voted. Trump got around 152,000 votes. Mathematically speaking, this is another county that, well, I don't think, with Cobb County is one of the only ones I could see possibly flipping. It's one of those counties where, mathematically speaking, it should flip, but I'm going to put my head in the sand for that one. And you keep seeing these numbers. They're just not there for Biden. Gwinnett County, another suburban Atlanta county. Gwinnett. Look at this. Republicans only down 1.5 since 2016. Democrats down by 1.2%. I don't think Trump's going to win Gwinnett County, but he's going to improve there too. You're noticing that, in particular, in this part of Georgia, this is where Trump's going to improve big time in. And you keep seeing this. And if Trump just holds a margin in Georgia, this is likely Georgia for sure. You just keep seeing this across the board. And you know the best example that I've been saying for about a month or so. The wow counties. Waukesha, Ozaukee, Washington. Want to see how bad it is for Democrats? This should terrify Democrats that support Biden. It should. Let's look at Waukesha. Look at this. A 7% increase from 2016. Democrats down 16% points from 2016. These are pathetic. You look at this. Waukesha, Trump got around 142,000 votes. Right? There's so far 82,000 Republicans that voted. And this is early voting. Waukesha is another county where Trump's going to improve in. You're seeing this across the board. Traditional Republican counties are coming home to Trump. Looking at early voting. Let's look at Ozaukee. Same deal. Look at this. It's another same deal. This is a county that swung heavily for Clinton. So far, 17,000 Republicans voted. Trump got 30,000 in 2016. They're on pace to absolutely wipe out Biden in the wow counties. This is why I'm telling people. Trump, while may do maybe a percent or two worse with his base from 2016, he may. He's going to do Romney levels in a lot of these traditional Republican strongholds. This is massive. And again, yes, Trump, like in Wisconsin, he's probably gonna lose like Sauk County, right? But Biden just does not have the numbers to counteract Trump's resurgence in the wow counties for Republicans. Think about that. Every single county that's traditionally Republican are heavily voting Republican. Another good example. This is the last one. This one shocked me. Minneapolis. This shouldn't shock anybody, but we're going to look at mostly places like Washington County, Dakota County. These are basically the two bellwethers. If Trump wins Washington, he's going to win the state. How are Democrats doing? Democrats should be leading there easily in Washington County. They should be wiping the floor with Republicans. Nope. Democrats had an 11-point lead. Now they're under 8% points from 2016 to 2020. Republicans have an 8-point lead, I should say. In Washington County. And Trump got around 64,000 votes. 23,000 Republicans voted. You're seeing a lot of this unaffiliated surge in Minnesota. It's looking like a lot of that's coming from Democrats. My gut feeling is that's not good because remember, modeled party looks at donation history, voting history, demographics, etc. This is not good for Democrats. If they lose Washington, they're losing the state of Minnesota. And you're going on and on. Those are 4 states. You could go on and on about counties where Trump's going to do better in. Like a great example is Utah. He's going to do better in all these counties. Another good example, probably North Carolina. You're probably going to see him do a little bit better in places around he did okay in and combine his rural base. Florida, he may do a couple percentage points better in some of these traditional Republican counties like Collier County. It goes on and on and on. Numbers-wise, it's looked like Trump's going to win easily. He's going to combine his 2016 base, while he may have lost, again, 1% of that. At most, he's going to get the traditional Republicans on his side. And that's around an extra 4 or 5% increase in the Republican Party. That can offset a 1% drop for Trump's main base. In fact, at that point, Trump may win the popular vote. Not saying he will, but you're just seeing this. Traditional Republican counties are voting heavily for Trump. This is massive. Trump may very well have screwed over the Democrats, because if this holds up, the only counties that Democrats are looking to improve in is pure urban at best. That's not enough for Democrats to win. Trump has combined his working class base with traditional Republicans. Now the death blow to the Democrats now is what's going to happen in states like New Mexico, states like Colorado, Nevada, heavy Hispanic populations. If he gets a Hispanic working class on his side, Democrats are screwed. If he can combine traditional Republican suburbanites, his working class white base, and working class Hispanics, it's game over for Democrats. They mathematically can't improve anywhere. And this is why I'm saying Trump is going to surprise a lot of people in suburbs. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys did, hit the link down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, and if you really want to, donate to the Patreon down below. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.